humans crossed into the Dominion and didn't flinch. He watched the dark space ahead, thinking of the warning messages they had received from other civilizations. "Do not cross the Dominion boundary," they said. "Humans are not ready." Ethan frowned. He had heard those warnings, but humans were not a species to wait quietly. The Dominion had grown too powerful, too arrogant. They controlled dozens of star systems and crushed anyone who resisted. Ethan's orders were simple: cross the boundary, observe, and if possible, establish contact. On the bridge, Lieutenant Clara Morgan tapped her fingers nervously on the console. "Captain, sensors are picking up Dominion patrols ahead. They're massive ships, bigger than anything we've seen before." Ethan nodded. "Good, let them see us. Let them know humans are here and we are not afraid." His voice was calm, but inside his heart beat faster. No one had faced the Dominion and lived to tell the story. Yet humans had always done the impossible. In the observation room, Dr. Samuel Parker studied the star charts. He was the ship's xenobiologist, responsible for understanding new civilizations. "Ethan," he said quietly, "these patrols, they've never seen humans before. They may underestimate us." Ethan turned to him. "Then we will show them exactly what humans are capable of. But remember, Samuel, we are observers first. No attacks unless we are attacked." The crew of the Aurora were tense. They were young, mostly veterans of minor skirmishes and exploration missions. But the Dominion was unlike anything they had faced. Their weapons were powerful, their ships advanced, and their soldiers trained to destroy any threat instantly. As the Aurora approached the boundary, the stars seemed to bend around them. A strange energy field shimmered ahead, a rippling wall of light marking the edge of Dominion space. The crew held their breath. This was it, the moment humanity had been warned to avoid. Captain Blake gave the order: "Prepare to cross. Keep shields at maximum and sensors active. Let's make history, people." With a soft hum, the ship passed through the energy field. The bridge lights flickered briefly and the crew felt a strange vibration in the hull. Outside, the stars seemed to twist, bending in unnatural ways. Then silence. No alarms, no attack. Only the endless void. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Had the Dominion not noticed them? Or were they waiting? Clara's voice broke the silence. "Sensors detect a fleet, Captain. About 50 ships, but they are moving away from us." Ethan leaned forward, studying the holographic display. "They're retreating or baiting us. Keep distance, Clara. Let's not make a mistake." Suddenly, the ship shuddered. The Dominion ships turned back, their weapons charging. The display showed multiple energy beams converging on the Aurora. "Shields up! Evasive maneuvers!" Ethan shouted. The ship rolled and darted through space, narrowly avoiding the first attack. The Dominion's weapons were powerful, but human pilots were unpredictable. They twisted and turned, weaving through asteroid fields and debris, confusing the attackers. Below deck, the engineering team worked frantically to keep the engines from overheating. "We can't hold much longer," shouted Chief Engineer Laura Benson. "The Dominion ships are too close." Ethan gritted his teeth. "We don't need to hold longer. We need to show them humans do not fear. Clara, fire countermeasures. Let's give them a taste of our ingenuity." Small drones launched from the Aurora, spinning and releasing bursts of energy. The Dominion beams struck some, others were deflected. It was not enough to stop the enemy, but it slowed them down. "Captain," Samuel said, pointing at the screen, "I think they are trying to scan us. They want to understand what humans are." Ethan nodded. "Let them, they will learn quickly." He turned to the crew. "Remember, humans survive because we adapt. Stay focused. Do not panic. Do not retreat." The Dominion ships closed in, firing relentlessly. The Aurora weaved through the onslaught, dodging each blast with precise calculations. It seemed impossible, yet humans were not creatures of impossibility. They were fighters, thinkers, survivors. In the midst of chaos, a young pilot, Daniel Hayes, spoke over the comm. "Captain, I have a path through the debris field. It's risky, but it might give us an edge. Ethan looked at him, then nodded. Take it, Daniel, lead the way. The Aurora sped toward the field of jagged asteroids. The Dominion ships followed, but their size made them slow and unwieldy. One by one, they struggled to keep up. Human pilots, light and fast, darted through gaps, exploiting every weakness. On the bridge, the crew cheered as the Dominion fleet struggled. They're not used to this, Clara exclaimed. Our small ships are too agile for them. Ethan allowed himself a small smile. This is only the beginning. They think humans are weak, but they will soon learn otherwise. The Dominion ships began to retreat, their commanders realizing that underestimating humans was dangerous. The Aurora did not pursue. Humanity had crossed the boundary and survived the first encounter, but they were far from safe. In the observation room, Samuel studied the data. They are cautious now. They will send reinforcements, but we have learned something important today. Humans are not just survivors. We are a force they cannot easily control. Ethan placed a hand on Samuel's shoulder. And that is the message we need to send. Humans crossed into the Dominion and we didn't flinch. The crew settled into a tense routine. They had proven themselves capable, but the Dominion would not forget this day. Every system in the region would now be on alert. Humans were no longer unknown. They were a threat. Captain Blake walked to the viewport, staring at the distant stars. We came to observe, he whispered. But now we have made our mark, and humanity will not stop here. We will push further, learn more, and show the galaxy that humans are not to be feared, they are to be respected. In the quiet of the ship, the crew felt a mix of fear and pride. They were far from home, surrounded by an alien empire stronger than anything they had imagined. Yet the human spirit thrived in the face of danger. Below deck, Laura Benson wiped sweat from her brow. We survived today, she said softly, and somehow I feel we've just begun. Ethan turned back from the viewport. Exactly. Today we survived. Tomorrow we show them humans do not bow, humans do not break, and humans do not flinch. The Aurora continued its course through Dominion space, a small but defiant symbol of humanity's resolve. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, but for the first time in history, one species had dared to cross a line no one else had dared approach, and had survived. Somewhere far away, in the vastness of Dominion space, alarms rang on countless ships. The commanders saw the human ship on their scanners. They would remember it, they would fear it. And the humans, they only smiled. For Ethan Blake and his crew, the galaxy had changed forever. Humans had crossed into the Dominion, and the universe would never see them the same way again. The Aurora drifted quietly through Dominion space, leaving behind the first wave of patrolling ships. The crew knew the Dominion would not let their intrusion go unnoticed for long. Every star system they passed through could be a trap, yet humans were not creatures who turned back. Captain Ethan Blake stood on the bridge, staring at the holographic star map. We are entering the Trivian Cluster, he said. It's uncharted in most human records, but reports say the Dominion uses it as a testing ground. We must be careful. Lieutenant Clara Morgan frowned. Testing ground? For what? Ethan rubbed his chin. Weapons, experiments, they try new tactics there. We could be walking straight into the lion's den. On the observation deck, Dr. Samuel Parker adjusted the sensors. I want to scan everything. Planets, moons, ships, even small signs of life. The Dominion may not expect humans to study their territory so closely. Ethan nodded. Exactly. Observation is our mission, Samuel. But if anyone tries to stop us, we will defend ourselves. Below deck, Chief Engineer Laura Benson checked the engines. We're holding up so far, but the Dominion's energy fields in this cluster could cause problems. Keep an eye on power levels. The crew moved through their duties like a well-oiled machine. Humans were not perfect, but their teamwork was unmatched. Every small ship, every young officer contributed to the survival of the whole. As the Aurora approached a gas giant, the sensors detected movement. Several small Dominion patrol ships were hiding behind the planet's rings, likely waiting to ambush the humans. Clara tapped the console. "Captain, we have company. 4 small patrol ships ahead." "They haven't noticed us yet." Ethan studied the display. "4 ships, huh? Let's see how humans handle small numbers of Dominion forces. Prepare countermeasures, but do not fire first. We are not here to fight unless they force us." The Dominion ships noticed them almost immediately. Lights flared across space, and the sensors picked up scanning signals. Humans were no strangers to observation. They had been studied by countless civilizations, yet they survived and thrived every time. Samuel leaned over the console. "They are trying to analyze our technology. They want to know what humans are capable of." Ethan smiled. "Then let them. Knowledge alone will not win battles. Courage and strategy will." The small Dominion ships moved closer, circling the Aurora. Their weapons glowed, but the humans remained calm. Clara calculated their movement patterns and gave orders. "Evasive maneuvers. We will keep them at a distance, but stay ready." Daniel Hayes, the young pilot who had led them through the debris field before, reported over the comm. "Captain, I can use the asteroid belt nearby for cover. It will slow them down and give us an advantage." Ethan nodded. "Do it. Lead the way, Daniel." The Aurora darted into the belt of rocks and ice. The Dominion ships followed, but their size and slower reaction made them vulnerable. Daniel twisted and turned, weaving through gaps and keeping the enemy at bay. Below deck, Laura worked on stabilizing the engines. "We're pushing the limits here," she said. "If we keep this up, the ship could overheat." Ethan's voice came over the comm. "We do not stop. Humans survive because we push limits. Keep it steady, Laura." After several tense minutes, the Dominion ships gave up the chase. They retreated back into the cluster, likely sending reports to their commanders. The humans had survived another encounter, but the tension on the Aurora did not fade. On the bridge, Ethan looked at his crew. "They think they can intimidate us. They think humans are fragile. But we just showed them how wrong they are." Clara leaned on the console, catching her breath. "Captain, what now? The cluster is full of unknown systems. Some may be dangerous. Some may hold resources. How do we decide?" Ethan considered the options. "We explore carefully. Scan each system. Avoid large Dominion installations for now. Our goal is to learn, not to provoke war unless they force it upon us." Samuel's sensors beeped suddenly. "Captain, there's a planet ahead. Atmosphere seems breathable. Signs of life, primitive but intelligent. They could be Dominion vassals or independent settlers. We should investigate." Ethan's eyes lit up. "Prepare a small landing party. We go in light. No weapons unless necessary. We observe, record, and return. Humans are explorers, not invaders." Clara raised an eyebrow. Explorers or not, we're still deep in Dominion space. Anything could happen, Ethan smiled. "That's the point. Humans thrive when facing the unknown. We do not flinch." The landing party consisted of Ethan, Clara, Samuel, Daniel, and 2 security officers, Jenna Moore and Alex Grant. They boarded a shuttle and descended toward the planet. The atmosphere shimmered, a mix of green and blue, with clouds swirling like paint. The shuttle landed softly on a flat plain. Tall grasses swayed in the wind and strange animals watched from a distance. The planet was alive, yet strangely quiet. Samuel scanned the surroundings. Life forms are intelligent but primitive. No weapons detected. They are farmers or herders living simply. This could be a Dominion-controlled world, or they could have their own small society. Ethan nodded. "Stay alert. Humans respect life, but we are cautious. Let's make contact slowly. Show them we mean no harm." The locals approached cautiously. They were humanoid but with greenish skin and large amber eyes. Their language was strange, but gestures suggested curiosity rather than fear. Clara stepped forward, hands raised. "We come in peace. We are explorers." The tallest of the locals nodded. Ethan's translator device struggled at first, but simple phrases began to form. Visitors unknown friends, the local said. Yes, Ethan replied slowly. Friends, humans explore, we mean no harm. The locals relaxed slightly. They led the humans to their settlement, showing simple structures and fields of crops. The humans observed everything carefully, taking notes and recording data. Back in the shuttle, Daniel whispered to Ethan, Captain, this planet could be valuable. If the Dominion knows humans are here, they may attack. Ethan nodded. True, but our goal is knowledge, not conquest. For now, we record and leave. The humans spent several hours studying the planet, its society, and its resources. Samuel was thrilled. Captain, this is amazing. We could learn so much about life under Dominion influence. Humans could be the first outsiders to study them. Ethan smiled. Exactly. Humans do not flinch. We observe, we adapt, we survive. As the sun began to set, the team returned to the shuttle. The locals waved, a silent promise of trust. Humans had crossed into unknown territory and had made first contact without violence. Back on the Aurora, the crew gathered around the reports. This is just the start, Clara said. The Dominion will know we are here. They will send more ships, Ethan nodded. And we will be ready. Humans are not just fighters. We are thinkers, strategists, and explorers. The Dominion may have numbers and weapons, but humans have courage, ingenuity, and unity. That is something no empire can fully control. Laura Benson worked on the ship's engines, repairing the minor damage from earlier skirmishes. Captain, the ship is ready for anything. We can push further if needed. Ethan looked at the stars. We will push further. Humans do not stop at boundaries. Humans cross them, explore the unknown, and face danger without fear. That is who we are. Suddenly, the sensors beeped urgently. A large Dominion fleet had detected them farther in the cluster. Hundreds of ships, far bigger than anything seen before, were moving toward the Aurora. Clara's eyes widened. Captain, they know we are here. They are coming. Ethan's jaw tightened. Then we prepare. Humans do not run. Humans do not bow. Humans do not flinch. The crew moved to their stations. Shields were reinforced, weapons readied, and every system prepared for the coming battle. The Aurora had survived its first test. Now, deep in Dominion space, humans were about to face a force greater than anything they had imagined. Yet they were not afraid. Humans never were. Ethan stared at the approaching fleet, a small smile forming. They think they can intimidate us. They have not met humans yet. And in that moment, somewhere in the void of space, the Dominion realized they had underestimated the human spirit. A spirit that would not yield, would not retreat, and would not flinch. The Aurora and its crew were ready to face whatever came next. Because humans, above all, survived. And they thrived. The Aurora drifted through the silent void, its crew tense and alert. The distant lights of the approaching Dominion fleet grew brighter on the sensors. Hundreds of ships, massive and deadly, were converging on the humans. Captain Ethan Blake stood on the bridge, his eyes sharp, his mind focused. Clara, how fast are they closing in? He asked. Clara tapped the console. Too fast. They are in attack formation and scanning aggressively. Shields and engines are holding, but we cannot outrun all of them. Ethan nodded. Then we fight smart. Humans survive by thinking faster than the enemy, adapting and striking where it hurts most. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Keep weapons ready, but fire only if necessary. In the engineering bay, Chief Laura Benson worked furiously to maximize the engine's output. We can push to 80%, maybe 90% for short bursts, but sustained maneuvers will strain the ship. Ethan leaned against the railing. Then we use those bursts at the right time. Humans do not rely on raw power alone. We outsmart the enemy. Dr. Samuel Parker studied the fleet through the observation window. Captain, their formations are tight, predictable. They rely on numbers and firepower, not flexibility. That could be our advantage. Ethan smiled faintly. Exactly, Samuel. They think their size guarantees victory. Humans think differently. We use the environment, timing, and surprise. That is how we survive. The Dominion fleet opened fire first. Energy beams cut across the darkness of space, illuminating the aurora with violent flashes. The ship shuddered, warning alarms echoing through the corridors. "Shields holding," Clara said, "but we can't take too many hits." Ethan's voice was calm but firm. "Focus on survival. Small adjustments, not panic. Every human knows how to adapt. Keep moving, keep thinking, and do not give them an easy target." Daniel Hayes took control of the navigation. "Captain, I can weave through that asteroid field ahead. It's risky, but it will give us cover." Ethan nodded. "Do it. Lead the way, Daniel. Humans survive because we take risks intelligently." The Aurora darted toward the field of jagged rocks. The Dominion ships followed, but their massive size made them slow and unwieldy. Daniel twisted and turned with expert precision, avoiding collisions while keeping the fleet at bay. Below deck, Laura monitored the engines. "We're pushing to the limit. If the ship overheats, we could be stranded." Ethan's voice came over the comm. "Then we make every second count. Humans thrive under pressure. Keep it steady, Laura." The Dominion ships fired relentlessly, but the Aurora was agile and unpredictable. Energy blasts struck asteroids, causing explosions that forced the fleet to scatter. The humans pressed their advantage, using the environment to survive. Samuel studied the enemy formation. "Captain, their command ship is at the center. If we can disrupt it, the fleet will lose coordination." Ethan nodded. "Then that is our target. Prepare a small strike team." He, Daniel, Clara, and two security officers boarded a shuttle equipped for attack. Their goal was clear: disable the command ship and give the Aurora a chance to escape. The shuttle streaked through the asteroid field, avoiding enemy fire. Daniel piloted expertly, weaving between rocks while the others prepared weapons. The command ship came into view, a massive structure bristling with weapons and shields. The humans could feel its power, yet they did not flinch. "Clara, target their engines," Ethan ordered. "We do not destroy everything. We just disable them long enough to escape." Clara aimed carefully and fired. Energy beams struck the engine arrays, causing sparks and explosions. The command ship shuddered, its fleet slowing. The Dominion ships tried to retaliate, but human ingenuity was faster. Daniel guided the shuttle through tight spaces, confusing the enemy sensors. Samuel activated small drones, creating false targets and further distracting the fleet. Below deck on the Aurora, Laura monitored the comms. "Captain, their fleet is confused. The command ship is struggling to coordinate. We have a window." Ethan nodded. "Then we move. Humans survive because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. Let's go." The shuttle returned, docking safely. The Aurora accelerated, leaving the weakened fleet behind. The humans had survived their first true battle in Dominion space. On the bridge, the crew allowed themselves a moment of relief. "We did it," Clara said. "We actually did it." Ethan shook his head. "We survived, yes, but the Dominion will not forget this. They will come back stronger. Humans do not panic, though. We prepare, we adapt, and we survive." Samuel scanned the damaged fleet. "Captain, their strategy was simple: numbers and firepower. They could not handle flexibility and surprise. Humans have an advantage they cannot match easily." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "Exactly. They may have size, but humans have mind, courage, and unity. That is what makes us strong. That is why humans do not flinch." Days passed as the Aurora continued through the Trivian cluster. The crew repaired damage, gathered intelligence, and studied the planets around them. Each world offered new challenges, strange life forms, and resources that could aid humanity. One planet caught their attention. Sensors detected a hidden facility, likely a Dominion research outpost. It was small but heavily defended. Clara frowned. "Captain, this could be dangerous. The Dominion would not leave a facility like this undefended." Ethan nodded. "True, but humans learn by observing. We gather data and we survive. That is our way." A small team boarded a shuttle to investigate. Ethan, Clara, Samuel, and Daniel approached the facility cautiously. Hidden cameras and automated defenses scanned the area, but the humans used clever maneuvers to avoid detection. Inside, they discovered strange devices and experiments. Alien technology and biological samples filled the facility. The humans carefully documented everything, taking photos, scans, and notes. Samuel whispered in awe, "Captain, this is incredible. We could learn so much about Dominion technology and strategy." Ethan nodded. "Exactly. Humans survive because we learn. Knowledge is power, and today we gain more." Suddenly, alarms blared. Automated defenses had detected them. Energy turrets powered up, targeting the team. "Move!" Ethan shouted. The humans sprinted through the corridors, using their knowledge of the facility to stay ahead. Clara fired precision shots, disabling some turrets, while Daniel guided the team with rapid calculations. They reached the shuttle and blasted off just as the facility's shields activated fully. The humans had survived another deadly encounter, but their determination was stronger than ever. Back on the Aurora, the crew analyzed the data. They had gained valuable intelligence about the Dominion's technology and strategy. The humans had not just survived, they had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. Ethan addressed the crew. "Every encounter, every danger, every moment of fear, humans face it with courage. The Dominion may have numbers, weapons, and power, but humans have heart, mind, and unity. That is why we do not flinch." Clara smiled. "Captain, it's true. We've faced the Dominion, explored unknown worlds, and survived against impossible odds. Humans really are something else." Ethan nodded. "Yes, Clara, humans survive. Humans adapt. Humans do not flinch, and the galaxy will learn that soon enough." Samuel added, "Captain, I've analyzed their strategies. Humans can use speed, unpredictability, and intelligence to survive even larger forces. The Dominion underestimates us, and that is our advantage." Ethan's eyes sparkled. "Exactly. They think fear will control humans, but humans do not fear. Humans do not retreat. Humans face the impossible and make it possible." As the Aurora drifted deeper into the Trivian cluster, the humans prepared for what lay ahead. The Dominion would come for them again, stronger and more determined. But the humans were ready. In the quiet moments, Ethan reflected on the journey so far. They had crossed into enemy space, faced superior forces, and survived against impossible odds. The human spirit had shown itself clearly, brave, clever, and unyielding. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, and somewhere in the void, the Dominion fleet regrouped, planning their next move. They would not understand yet that humans did not flinch. Humans did not run. Humans did not bow. The Aurora and its crew pressed forward, exploring, learning, surviving. Humanity's mark was growing across Dominion space, and the galaxy would never forget it. Because humans do not flinch. The Aurora moved silently through the Trivian cluster. The crew had repaired the minor damage from previous skirmishes, but tension remained high. Every system they passed could hide threats. Captain Ethan Blake knew that the Dominion would not forget humans crossing into their space. "Clara, how far until we reach the next system?" Ethan asked, standing on the bridge. "3 days at current speed," she replied. "Sensors show scattered patrols, but nothing major so far." Ethan nodded. "Good, that gives us time to plan. Humans survive because we think ahead, not just react. Let's use this time wisely." In the observation room, Dr. Samuel Parker studied the star charts. "Captain, the next system has multiple planets with potential life. One of them could be a Dominion outpost or a colony. Either way, it's worth studying." Ethan rubbed his chin. "We observe first. If we are discovered, we adapt. Humans do not flinch, Samuel. That is our strength." Below deck, Chief Engineer Laura Benson monitored the engines. "We're ready for anything. I've reinforced the shields and tuned the engines for maximum performance." Ethan smiled. "Excellent work, Laura. Humans survive because we prepare. Humans adapt because we think. Humans thrive because we never give up. As they approached the system, the sensors detected unusual activity on the largest planet. The atmosphere was thick, and the surface was dotted with towers and structures. Clara frowned. Captain, these structures are highly fortified, could be a Dominion command base. Ethan studied the readings. Possibly, but humans do not wait for trouble to find them. We learn, we observe, and we act when the moment is right. Prepare a shuttle team. We go in light and quick. The landing team included Ethan, Clara, Samuel, Daniel, and 2 security officers, Jenna Moore and Alex Grant. They boarded the shuttle and descended toward the planet, careful to avoid detection. The planet's surface was harsh. Jagged rocks jutted from the ground and the sky glowed with a greenish hue. The humans moved carefully, scanning for life signs and patrols. Samuel whispered, "Captain, I detect numerous life forms. They are intelligent but controlled by the Dominion." "They may be slaves or vassals," Ethan nodded. "Then we observe quietly. Humans survive because we understand the situation before acting. We never rush blindly." The landing team approached one of the towers. It was heavily guarded, but they used the terrain for cover. Daniel led the way, calculating paths to avoid detection. Suddenly, a patrol spotted them. Energy weapons glowed as the guards opened fire. "Take cover," Ethan shouted. Humans were fast and adaptive. The team dodged behind rocks, returned fire selectively, and moved with precision. Clara disabled a turret with a well-aimed shot. "Captain, we can reach the tower if we move quickly," Ethan nodded. "Then we move." Humans survive danger by using courage and strategy together. They reached the tower and accessed a side entrance. Inside, they found a control room filled with holographic displays and Dominion officers. The humans carefully recorded data, taking photos and notes. Samuel studied the technology. "Captain, this is advanced Dominion command tech. We can learn a lot from this. Humans gain knowledge by observing, not just fighting." Ethan agreed. "Exactly. Humans survive by thinking. Humans thrive by learning. Let's gather as much as possible and get out before reinforcements arrive." As they prepared to leave, alarms blared. Dominion forces had detected the intrusion. The tower locked down and security drones activated. "Move," Ethan shouted. The team sprinted through corridors, using cover and disabling drones with precise shots. Daniel piloted the shuttle remotely to prepare an extraction point. They reached the shuttle just as a squad of Dominion soldiers cornered them. Energy beams streaked through the air, striking rocks and the shuttle. Clara fired in quick bursts, taking down several soldiers. Ethan led the team through the last stretch, showing calm precision under fire. Humans survived because they remained focused, even in impossible situations. The shuttle lifted off, narrowly avoiding incoming fire. The Dominion soldiers watched helplessly as the humans escaped into the sky. Back on the Aurora, the crew celebrated quietly. They had survived another dangerous encounter and gained valuable intelligence. Samuel said, "Captain, the Dominion will analyze this data. They will strengthen their defenses. Humans must be ready for greater challenges." Ethan nodded. "True, but humans do not back down. Humans learn, humans adapt, and humans survive. We face the impossible and we make it possible." Days later, the Aurora received a transmission. It was a warning from the Dominion. A fleet would intercept them if they continued deeper into the cluster. Clara frowned. "Captain, they're sending ships to stop us. They know we are here." Ethan's eyes gleamed. "Then we show them humans are not afraid. Humans survive not by hiding but by standing firm and using their minds. Prepare the crew. We may have to fight again, but humans never flinch." The crew worked quickly. Shields were reinforced, weapons calibrated, and engines prepared for evasive maneuvers. Every system was optimized for survival. Samuel studied the incoming fleet. "Captain, they outnumber us 10 to 1, but humans have agility and ingenuity. We can use the environment to our advantage. Ethan nodded. Exactly. Humans survive because we adapt. Humans thrive because we think. And humans win because we do not give up. As the Dominion fleet approached, the Aurora moved through an asteroid field. The massive ship struggled to navigate the dense rocks, while humans twisted and turned with speed and precision. Daniel piloted expertly, weaving between asteroids while deploying small drones to distract the enemy. Clara fired carefully, taking out weapon systems when possible. The Dominion ships struggled to respond. Their size and reliance on brute force worked against them in the complex terrain. Humans exploited every weakness, using creativity and courage. Ethan observed the battle. Humans survive because we never stop. We see opportunities where others see obstacles. That is why the Dominion cannot control us easily. Samuel added, Captain, if we can disrupt their communication, the fleet will lose coordination. Ethan smiled. Then that is what we do. Humans adapt. Humans survive. Humans think faster than anyone expects. The team deployed hacking drones to jam the Dominion fleet systems. Lights flickered across enemy ships as communications broke down. Confused and uncoordinated, the fleet became vulnerable. The Aurora struck swiftly. Small attacks disabled engines and weapons, forcing the fleet to retreat. The humans had survived against overwhelming odds once again. Back on the Aurora, the crew cheered quietly. They had proven themselves against impossible numbers. Humans survived not because of size or firepower, but because of courage, intelligence, and teamwork. Clara turned to Ethan. Captain, the Dominion will never forget this. Humans are making a name for themselves. Ethan nodded. Exactly. Humans survive, humans adapt, and humans do not flinch. That is how we change the galaxy. That is how humans thrive. The crew took a moment to rest, but they knew more challenges lay ahead. The Dominion would return stronger and more determined, but humans were ready. Ethan stood on the bridge looking at the stars. We have faced impossible odds and survived. The Dominion may have power, but humans have something they cannot control: courage, ingenuity, and unity. That is why humans do not flinch. Below deck, Laura Benson smiled as she checked the engines. Captain, the ship is ready for anything. Bring them on. Ethan nodded. Exactly. Humans survive, humans adapt, and humans thrive. The Dominion will learn that soon enough. As the Aurora continued its journey through the cluster, the humans prepared for what lay ahead. They had crossed boundaries, faced superior forces, and survived. Now, their reputation was growing across Dominion space. And somewhere in the void, the Dominion fleet regrouped, planning their next strike. They had underestimated humans before. They would not make that mistake again. But humans were not afraid. Humans do not flinch. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, and the Aurora moved forward, carrying the human spirit into the unknown. Because humans survive. Humans adapt. Humans do not flinch. The Aurora glided silently through the Trivian cluster, its crew alert and focused. The previous encounters with the Dominion had taught them much. Humans survived because they adapted, they thought faster than their enemies, and they never flinched. Captain Ethan Blake stood on the bridge, studying the approaching system. Clara, report. Lieutenant Clara Morgan checked the sensors. Captain, we are approaching a system with a massive Dominion fleet. They know we are here and they are waiting. Ethan's jaw tightened. Then we show them humans do not fear. Prepare all stations. Shields, weapons, and engines. We may be outnumbered, but humans do not give up. Below deck, Chief Engineer Laura Benson worked quickly. Captain, the ship is ready. Engines are stable, shields reinforced. We can handle anything they throw at us temporarily. Ethan nodded. Temporary is enough. Humans survive by thinking smarter, not just harder. That is our advantage. On the observation deck, Dr. Samuel Parker studied the enemy fleet. Captain, their numbers are enormous. Hundreds of ships, but their formation is rigid. They rely on size and coordination, not creativity. That could be our edge, Ethan smiled. Exactly. Humans survive because we use intelligence, courage, and unpredictability. That is why we do not flinch. The fleet loomed ahead, massive ships bristling with weapons, scanning every corner of space. The Dominion thought humans would hesitate. They were wrong. Daniel, take the helm. Lead us through the asteroid belt on the left. Use the terrain to our advantage, Ethan ordered. Daniel Hayes grinned. Yes, Captain, they won't expect this. The Aurora darted toward the asteroid field, weaving skillfully among the rocks. Dominion ships struggled to follow, their massive frames too large and cumbersome. Humans moved fast, small, and unpredictable. Clara, target their engines and weapon systems. Hit where it counts, Ethan instructed. Clara's fingers flew over the controls. Energy beams struck Dominion ships, disabling weapons and slowing their engines. Small drones deployed from the Aurora, creating false targets and confusing enemy sensors. Captain, Samuel said, their fleet is losing coordination. If we strike at the command ship, they may collapse entirely. Ethan nodded. Then that is our goal. Humans survive by striking strategically, not blindly. Daniel, plot a course to the center of their formation. The shuttle team was ready. Ethan, Clara, Daniel, and two security officers, Jenna Moore and Alex Grant, boarded a small, fast craft designed for rapid strikes. Their target, the Dominion command ship at the heart of the fleet. The shuttle weaved through the chaos, narrowly avoiding beams and debris. Daniel's piloting was precise, almost instinctive, as humans always adapted to challenges. The command ship appeared, a massive structure glowing with energy. Its shields pulsed and weapons powered up, yet humans did not flinch. Clara, disable their communications and engines, Ethan ordered. Clara fired with precision, hitting critical points. Sparks flew, systems failed, and the command ship shuddered. The Dominion fleet slowed, confusion spreading through their ranks. Samuel deployed hacking drones to disrupt the command signals further. Lights flickered across the fleet. Dominion ships became disorganized, their attacks erratic and weak. Ethan looked at his team. Humans survive because we are bold, we think, and we act together. Strike now. The shuttle team moved quickly, disabling key systems. One by one, Dominion ships faltered, losing coordination and power. Back on the Aurora, the crew exploited the chaos. Energy weapons targeted vulnerable points, drones created diversions, and the humans pressed their advantage. Clara smiled. Captain, they are falling apart. Our strategy is working, Ethan nodded. Humans survive because we see the possibilities others ignore. We adapt, we learn, and we act decisively. The Dominion fleet attempted to regroup, but humans had already disrupted their core systems. Small ships faltered, large ships collided, and confusion spread through the entire formation. Daniel piloted the shuttle through the center, striking the final systems of the command ship. Energy shields collapsed, engines failed, and the massive vessel drifted helplessly. Ethan stood, calm but determined. Humans survive because we face impossible odds and do not flinch. Today, we show the Dominion what that truly means. The command ship signaled surrender, but the humans did not attack further. Their goal was not destruction but demonstration. They had proven humanity's courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. Back on the Aurora, the crew cheered quietly. They had done the impossible, survived against overwhelming forces, and left a clear mark in Dominion space. Samuel studied the data. Captain, the Dominion will remember this. They underestimated humans and now they know better. Ethan nodded. Exactly. Humans survive because we learn, we adapt, and we never yield. That is why the galaxy will never see us the same way again. The crew took a moment to rest, but there was no time for complacency. The Dominion may rebuild, may return, but humans had established a reputation. They were not prey. They were a force to respect. Clara approached Ethan. Captain, we've faced impossible odds, infiltrated their facilities, and disrupted their fleet. Humans really do not flinch. Ethan smiled. Yes, Clara, humans survive, humans adapt, humans thrive, and humans leave a mark that cannot be erased. Days later, the Aurora continued its journey through Dominion space. Intelligence gathered from previous missions allowed them to avoid traps, predict patrol routes, and explore safely. Samuel commented, Captain, the Dominion's technology is impressive, but humans use strategy and ingenuity. That makes us unpredictable and dangerous. Ethan agreed. Exactly. Humans survive because we are unpredictable. Humans thrive because we learn faster than anyone expects. Humans do not flinch because fear does not control us. Suddenly, sensors detected a distress signal from a nearby planet. It was under Dominion attack. The humans had a choice: ignore it or intervene. Clara looked at Ethan. Captain, this could be dangerous. The Dominion may be testing us. Ethan's eyes narrowed. Humans survive because we do not ignore suffering. Humans thrive because we act with purpose. Prepare a shuttle team. We go to help. The team descended to the planet. Cities burned and Dominion soldiers attacked with overwhelming force. Civilians fled, terrified and unarmed. Daniel whispered, Captain, there's no way we can stop all of this. Ethan's voice was steady. Humans survive because we focus on what we can do, not what we cannot. Protect the civilians. Disable the Dominion forces strategically. We will show them humans do not flinch. The team moved swiftly. Clara and Ethan coordinated evacuations, while Daniel and the security officers targeted key Dominion positions. Energy beams struck weapons arrays, vehicles stalled, and humans led civilians to safety. Samuel used drones to create diversions, drawing enemy attention away from the people. Humans survived because they were clever, quick, and brave. Hours later, the Dominion forces retreated. Civilians cheered, amazed at the humans who had risked everything to save them. Ethan stood amidst the crowd. Humans survive because we do not turn away. Humans thrive because we face the impossible. And humans do not flinch, even in the darkest hour. Back on the Aurora, the crew reflected on the mission. They had survived countless dangers, gained valuable intelligence, disrupted a Dominion fleet, and saved lives. The human spirit had shown itself clearly. Clara spoke softly. Captain, do you think the Dominion will ever forget us? Ethan smiled. No, Clara. They will remember humans for one reason. We survive, we adapt, and we do not flinch. That is the legacy we carry across the stars. Samuel added, and other civilizations will take notice. Humans are not just fighters. We are thinkers, explorers, and protectors. That is why humanity thrives. Ethan looked out at the stars. The Aurora was small in the vastness of space, but its crew carried the courage of all humanity. Every system they explored, every enemy they faced, and every life they saved added to the legacy of the human race. Humans survive, Ethan said quietly. Humans adapt and humans do not flinch. That is how we change the galaxy. That is how humans leave their mark. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, but humans would move forward without fear. They had crossed boundaries, faced overwhelming forces, and survived every challenge. The Dominion and all who watched would know this truth forever. Humans do not flinch. And as the Aurora continued its journey, carrying the human spirit into the unknown, one fact was certain. Humanity had begun to leave its permanent mark across the stars, unyielding, brave, and unstoppable. Because humans survive, humans adapt, humans do not flinch.